Extra, extra, read all about it. Warhammer Times, Warhammer Times. Extra, extra, read all about it. Warhammer Times, Warhammer Times. Yeah. How do you do? It is I, Lord Pembleton III, and welcome to this week's episode of the Warhammer Times, the show in which we look at new Warhammer releases, talk about the events, and general thoughts on how Warhammer is doing in general. And just to give you some interesting news, I'm trying out a new format for the Warhammer Times show, and I realized while making this that honestly, this feels too close for comfort, because the specific format that I have chosen, which, by the way, this was not intentional, but for some reason, I just thought, wow, this feels a lot like Allspec Tactics. Oh well, I mean, if I'm guessing if the format works, why not? But I'm not really going to be covering the same topics as Allspec Tactics. I'm also not going to be trying the same things with Allspec Tactics, so it's less of a blatant copy and more of like a homage to seeing how well the format can do for me. Anyway, without any ado, welcome to this week's episode of Allspec Tactics, where we look at a new Kill Team release. I personally think that the new release has been decidedly uninspired, lame, and dull, and the new release of these miniatures will be on the 5th of October 2024. So just to give a quick recap of how this is done, we'll look at the notable releases of Warhammer and rate them on a scale between good, okay, or bad, and perhaps some intermediates between those three options, and give my general thoughts about them. So without ado, some quick heads up. While I have said that this release has been absolutely boring and uninspired, I will remain with that. The good news is, I don't think there's been anything bad in these new releases, but the bad news is I've only found one good release so far, which is not great, but at least there's this one good thing. So just to go ahead with that, let's talk about the release of the Kill Team Equipment Pack, which is our first and only miniature release of the good category. And in this kit, there contains 2 ladders, 2 collapsed ladders, 2 light barricades, 2 heavy barricades, 2 razor wires, 2 smoke grenades, 2 smoke grenades activated, 2 portable barricades, 2 mines, 2 comms devices, 2 ammo caches, 2 crack grenades, 2 stun grenades, 2 frag grenades, 1x6 range marker, and 1x3 range marker. And the kit itself is priced at £28. And I feel like for what you're getting, it's a pretty decent price and a pretty decent release. Overall, I think these kinds of equipment pack, this one specifically, this equipment pack, would do well in, let's say, an Astra Militarum army, or Sisters of Battle, where it gives a lot more kind of, characteristics to the army. I like that not all of the equipment is in use, so you can have, like, for instance, laying around, like, unactivated equipment, and also, let's say, for instance, you got the collapsed ladders, and also the activated ladders where it's stretched out, and honestly, it's just, gives it, like, it's in a battlefield, which, is always great for Warhammer. Whoever did the paint job did a great work. I wish they perhaps did a little bit more work on the smokes of the activated grenades. But overall, it looks wonderful. I think for £28, you're definitely getting your money's worth with the amount of stuff and the amount of detail the equipment pack has for you. So now we're starting off with the OK category, which pretty much all the rest of the miniatures releases are going to be in from now. Let's get on with it. And starting off is, first of all, the Kill Team Hivestorm with exclusive wound counter bases. And what you get in this box set is a 112-page softcover Kill Team core book, 72-page Hivestorm dossier, 22 multi-part plastic miniatures, 11 Tempest Aquilons, elite human specialist operative whose skills can change the course of the entire engagement. 11 Vespid Stingwings, airborne alien auxiliaries armed with advanced weaponry. A Kill Team core token sheet containing 92 double-sided tokens. A Kill Team combined token sheet containing 55 double-sided tokens. 36 approved operation cards. A double-sided 762mm by 559mm Killzone Volcus game board. A 10 D6 dices, 14 pieces of Killzone Volcus terrain, and 1 Kill Team upgrade equipment pack containing 30 pieces of equipment. And this is at a very hefty price of about £145. And although, it's not, I would not say it's terrible. Like, you get some pretty cool terrain, but overall, it's just pretty dull, if I'm going to be honest. It's disappointing because, yeah, it's the terrain is nice and all, and I think if you're just going for the terrain, I think honestly, like, just sell the terrain separately for about, I don't know, £60, or but that's of course GW Workshop standards. I think that this whole terrain set could be easily, given away for about £40 or even 35. I think would be fine. You're getting very few miniatures as well, and in comparison to something, £50 extra, which is the Scaventide box set, which is £160 for £50 extra, you get so much more money, more bang for your buck. I think in all honesty, this is just a very mid-release in terms of box set. I would think they would include more interesting miniatures, some more terrain pieces. If you're paying £145, which is not easy on your wallet, I think you should include a lot more things in it. So the next one in the OK category is the Killzone Bheta-Decima. This contains a 30 by 22 double-sided game board, a ferrotic furnace, 2 large gantries, 2 small gantries, and 4 medium gantries. And it is priced at £75. So overall, this kit has a nice centerpiece. The ferrotonic furnace looks absolutely wonderful. It's varied. It's got a cool design. I like it. But the rest of it is just uninspired. It's boring. For £75, you would expect a lot more out of what you're getting, and this, is just boring, samey, with very little variation. I feel like this could easily go for £30, the right, and even that, in my opinion, is a bit expensive, which I guess, it's got, for the ferrotonic furnace, it's okay, but the rest is just a bit Definitely better of the 2 scenery packs provided, but in total, it's just not worth the money, and it's just not exactly very interesting, in my opinion. So the next one in the OK, the lesser of the 2 scenery packs, is the Killzone Gallowdark. This contains a 30 by 22 double-sided game board, 16 pillars, 4 wall ends, 4 short wall ends with hatchway and pillars, 2 short walls with hatchway, 2 long walls with pillars, 2 long walls with hatchway, and 2 long walls. And again, we get into the same issue. I think this one is maybe I was a little bit harsher on this one. Maybe this one might be better in some circumstances, but it doesn't really have that centerpiece that the Bheta-Decima had. But this one is just, it's the same. There's very little variation. It's so boring. It's like a labyrinth that is just being repeated. It's like a Wolfenstein level. It's not interesting. It's not enough for £75. You know, my opinion, this would be £20 easily. Can go for £20 pretty easily. That's about it. It's just really boring and really disappointing for what you're getting for £75. So the last one we have the OK in the OK category are just the entire lot of miniature kits. So there's several, and I don't really want to go through all of them because I don't feel like it's worth going through all of them. But all you need to know is that they're priced between £42.50 and £47.50. And really, the best one looks to be the Blooded, in my opinion, because mainly it has some more notable miniatures in the kits, but the rest are just, really poorly done, really boring. I feel like Killzone at some point had some pretty decent miniature kits that were, perhaps extensions of better kits, in my opinion, such as the Gallowdark Infected. They were probably my favorite ones. And the terrain also used to be a lot better as well, which, I know we're not talking about the terrain, but just comparing all those. These ones are very boring, very uninspired miniatures in general. Again, the Blooded seems like it's the best one out of all the miniature kits, but it's still not great. And for £47.50, or for £42 to £47.50 for kits, they're not cheap. And what you're getting is lackluster miniatures for what feels like a very lackluster release, in my opinion. Because the Killzones, the previous Killzones before that were released were much better quality, and they had much better miniatures and a much better starter kit in general. This feels just like a shame and probably a waste of a decent release, in my opinion. What could have been a decent release instead turned into this mediocre fest. And I think that's about it for the reviews for the kits anyway. It's sad, but, it's par for the course at this point, in my opinion. We at least got a good release for the Skaven, but this is not it. Now that we got that disappointment out of the way, there's one release I do want to talk about, which I'm very excited for. In my opinion, it is the best thing ever. You add some sass and you add a Nurgling. What do you get? You get a Sassy Nurgling. It's a plush up, baby. This is it. The Tommy Sassy Nurgling plush. It is wonderful. It is everything I could have hoped for. Having a Sassy Nurgle is absolutely sensational, if you ask me. This is it. They finally knocked it out of the park after getting through that whole disappointment of a release of the Killzone. This is it. This is right here. They finally did something that was great. You can actually purchase this right now, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm really tempted to get one myself. I just think it's a definitely yes. This is £13.38. A bargain compared to the miniatures, if you ask me, and for the fact that you're getting a Sassy Nurgling, it's a thumbs up from me. You got the Nurgling Award. I'm gonna turn this into an award. This will be the Sassy Nurgling Award. So the next thing I want to talk about coming from the Warhammer community page is they have a new page layout, a new design for some of the pages, as you can see here. This didn't used to be here before, but this is how they're going with it right now. I think in general it's okay, but more importantly, there are some new animations coming to Warhammer TV. So there's a new Hammer and Bolter episode. Can't wait to see that. New Black Talon. I think Black Talon was pretty decent. And this Kill Lupercal, I'm actually a little bit excited for. Definitely more excited for than the Tides. I still haven't seen that. So once these come out, I think I will have an excuse to at least subscribe for a little bit to watch some of this new content that's coming up. Hopefully it'll be good. I mean, in general, I always hope, but who knows? If they can at least, if this can be a much better experience than, let's say, the Knights episode from the Warhammer Plus, I think it's a definite win. And the fact that these ones are already the last ones of these ones have been pretty decent in my opinion, so that gives me hope. And the Kill Lupercal, who knows? I mean, I think this could be really interesting. Who knows? And that's about it. So, that's it for this episode. If you like my channel, of course, like and subscribe. I do a whole bunch of different kinds of videos. I usually sometimes talk about things that bug me through my autistic rants. Some of the miscellaneous kind of shows here and there, sometimes depending on what I'm interested in. I definitely want also do some topics on movies and TV. And last but not least, I do, of course, the Warhammer Times. So that's my Warhammer show. So if you like it, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next episode. Ta-ta, chappos!